Hello, and welcome to the Sofa Talk podcast. I'm your co host, Aster.
And I'm your co-host, SeVen.
Let's talk it out and lounge it up. We appreciate you listening. This is episode 5, and the title of today's episode is What About Your Friends? So every time I say that, I want to sing TLC song, What About Your Friends? Will they stand their ground? Will they let you down? Hey, hey, ho. Shout out to TLC for that song and for that title that we're going to be using for this podcast segment today. Today, we're going to talk about the highs, lows, and lessons in friendship and what it means to show up, grow apart, and everything in between. Welcome back. So, before we get into the what about your friends topic, I just wanted to highlight and mention a few things that has been brought to my attention. Um, Keep in mind, I don't need to explain myself, and neither does SeVen, but we wanted to provide some clarification, which is needed. If you listen to Debuting Sofa Talk, you'll have a better understanding of the podcast. SeVen and I shared personal information about ourselves and how we want Sofa Talk to impact and relate to people. SeVen and I are on the couch talking, like literally. But we also need to address our listeners at the same time because it's just not just him and I talking. We ask questions and things like that, and they say something to y'all, kind of like directly or indirectly. So the conversation isn't just focused on us. It's for all of you too. Remember, this podcast isn't just for SeVen and I, it's for you all too. That's why we're doing it. We're here to educate, relate, and have eye-opening discussions. Topics that make you go, just like the song. Things that make you go, I'm just in a musical mood today. We try to give credit where it's due, like we mentioned before, by referencing our information sources, especially when it's being read to you all. Although you can't see us online, video platforms, remember what we said before. Communication is key. Don't focus on visuals. Listen to our message that we are delivering to you all. Remember, we said before also, people often criticize podcasters visually, that they miss out on good discussion topics. Since we're audio, which means you can only hear us, think about it, it's a benefit. You won't have to be glued to your device that you're listening to us from. So think about it. You can multitask and listen to us at the same time, work out, cook, clean, listen to us on your way to work, running errands, things to that nature, doing any activity or a hobby. That's a good thing. So keep that in mind. Also, y'all, we just started. Please give us a chance. I don't like begging people, but just please give us a chance. We're still trying to find our rhythm and groove, and find out what works and what doesn't. We promise you'll like it here, as we mentioned. You're going to like us. Just give us some time. And let me make another note there. Sometimes our topics may be based on awareness months. So during that time when we're speaking about a topic that's based on awareness, there's a lot of educational components that comes behind that. SeVen and I don't have the research. We never did the research. We're reading on it. We're referencing the sources and reading it all to you. And surprisingly, what I found out, people like that, and people like to hear statistical facts and numbers. So keep that in mind too when you listen to Sofa Talk or think of Sofa Talk when we do educational things in nature. Remember that. And also, let me make another note. I told y'all before, I'm a professional woman. So, I'm professional. But remember, I told y'all on the debut of Sofa Talk, I can go from professional to non-professional. So you'll see a little bit of that of me sometimes, especially next month, September, when we do the work topic, because I got things to say. So all this fanciness, professionalism will be going out the door because I'm gonna be cursing and all and setting it off on there. And y'all gonna see when I'm passionate and pissed about something, y'all gonna see my delivery and my tone is not gonna be professional. So, I had to share that with y'all. So, but you want to add anything, or you agree what I said, Seven, or
I agree.
you agree?
Yep.
Okay. We just had to, let y'all know that. Okay.
Yep.
Thank y'all for listening for that. Okay. Another thing too, TikTok. Let me give y'all another round of applause because y'all showing out on there. We don't got much followers. We got like 61, 62, or 60 followers on there. But the views, the engagement that we get sometimes for comments outweighs the followers. So we thank anybody, even if you don't follow us, we thank you all for supporting us on that platform. The views, like I said, are, doing really good. So thank you all for that. And let me give a special shout out to somebody, a listener or a sofa talker, Puma on TikTok. At Puma, thank you for sharing our podcast promo video for our episode featuring the debut of Sofa Talk in our first episode, Breaking the Stigma Around Mental Health. Thank you so much for doing that for us on TikTok. We appreciate it. When people do stuff like that, share it, that means they like it. They want other people to engage or listen. We appreciate that. So shout out to you, Puma.
Shout out.
Shout out. Yep. Mm-hmm. We see you, Puma. We see you. And also want to thank the other people and followers like from Facebook that have also shared our promo videos for our podcast episodes on Facebook. See, what the thing with Facebook, sometimes I can't see who shares the post, but I do see a few people that do share. So thank you to you all too. If I can't mention y'all, you appreciate it, and we thank y'all. Thank you so much. So the topic is, what about your friends? So we are gonna discuss we're gonna define what a friend means to each of us, and what makes a person a good friend. Starting out, since it's about friendship, this segment.
Yeah.
So you want me to go first?
You go ahead. Yep.
Okay. So when I think of a friend off the top of my head, I think of a friend as somebody who's loyal, who's dependable, who's honest, who's going to be there for you, who's going to keep it real with you, who might put you in check. Sometimes you don't want people who are like the yes ma'am, yes sir kind of people.
We just talked about that.
Yeah, we just talked about that, right?
About that, yeah.
We want a friend that's going to keep it real. We want a friend that's like a vault. So I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to talk to Seven here. Talk to him. He's going to safeguard what I say to him and not spread it. You know what I'm saying? He's my vault. Mm-hmm. So, somebody trustworthy, somebody could be open to open up around. Also too, not faking the funk. You know what I'm saying? There's some people out there that have friendships that they fake the funk with certain people, but I want to keep it real with you. You're going to see me during my highs, my lows, my good, my bad. I'm not faking it with you, because a real friendship, I don't have to, because you're going to see me, through the good, the bad, and the ugly, as I mentioned. So that's what a friendship is. It makes a good friend, pretty much to me. A good friend is somebody who's going to be there, that's going to support you, be a listener, be there to listen to you emotionally. Sometimes friends do help financially. With me, that's not a big deal for me. It's just sometimes just listen to what I got to say. If I'm going to vent, listen to me. Mm-hmm. The friend got my back. You know what I'm saying? Is going to have my back. What else makes a good friend? It's so much that comes behind this, y'all. A good friend is always by your side. Always by your side, no matter what.
Yeah, no matter what. Mm-hmm.
A good friend makes time for you. A good friend makes time to communicate with you. And communication could come in the form of a phone call, a voicemail, a text message, an email, things like that. That's still communicating. So, and keep up the friendship and meet with you every now and then. If you can't meet all the time because life goes on, life changes, things happen. But, you stay in communication with them. You just don't let them go or kick them to the curb. And a friend's going to be by your side when you are at your down moment. That's how you know you have a good friend. When you're at your down moment, they're going to be there by your side to help you and pick you up.
I agree.
Okay?
Absolutely.
So that is my
I
definition.
I kind of pretty much agree with everything you said. I
Mhm.
really feel like, uh, I mean, yeah, pretty much everything you said I agree with, because those are the qualities that I also look in friends and
Mhm.
friendships also too.
Mhm.
Um, as I got older, I respect more of a genuine friendship.
Mhm.
It's not about quantity, is about quality.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
I've learned that from you. I used to
Mhm.
think before, have the
Mhm.
big group of crowd of friends and da 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 da
Mhm.
da, but then you start to realize, like, these are really not my friends. These are more
Mhm.
associates,
Mhm.
or just for in the moment type people.
Mhm.
But I'm one of those people that do value friendships, and I take it very seriously. So
Mhm.
I'm one of those type of friends. If we're friends, we're best. Pretty much, my friends are my best friends,
Mhm.
because I don't have a big large groups of everybody I have an
Same here.
individual relationship with, and so I consider that person my best friend. But
Mhm.
we all bring so much quality to one another in life, and when you get older, certain things, the things that used to count, no longer count.
Mhm.
And when you're able to adjust to life and
Mhm.
just things that are happening, and still be able to keep a good healthy friendship, because
Mhm.
communication is key.
Yes, we
We're
keep
not
on
little
saying
kids
that.
anymore.
Yep.
So it's like, you get, as long as you communicate and checking in and all, it's not about always hanging out or going out. A text,
Yes,
a
yes,
conversation, a
yes.
wish you well, or I
Mhm.
can't wait to see you, or you're in my prayers or my thoughts. Those type of things like that go a long way in a friendship.
Mhm.
um so and the people that I have in my life bring all those qualities, and I believe I bring all those back into their lives
Absolutely.
also too.
360, honey.
Um,
Full
I
circle.
believe into pouring into people. I don't like leaving people's
Mhm.
cups,
Mhm.
empty
Mhm.
or half empty, however you say
Mhm.
it or whatever. I like to be there and support my people, no matter up, high, low, no matter what it is. I got
Mhm.
you. Um, I'm always for a good time. I'm always for a good relaxing time. I'm one of
Yes.
those type of friends, don't require much. Just us, if we're
Yes,
sitting in the
yes.
house and we're watching movies, or we're reminiscing, or eating, or we
Yes,
go out to dinner,
yes.
that's everything to me. Like, it doesn't always have to be a club scene or vacation, because some people
Yeah.
value those types of things, and that's
Yeah.
fine.
And
That's
that's
their
fine. That's
thing.
their thing. Yep.
But I still have the most fun, even in the smaller settings, or
Mhm. Or not so extravagant,
not. Yeah,
you
exactly.
know.
Or yeah. So yeah, those. Yeah, I feel like we kind of pretty much have the same values and thoughts of what a friend means, and what's a good person, all that.
Also, too, I want to add on to SeVen there. So I came across something on social media. I don't know the handler's name or the user's name, but it mentioned something about there was a lady who went through some difficult times, and I think she adopted a baby. The baby might have been malnourished, and she was under stress and things like that. And people would ask her, do you need support? Let me know if you need anything. But sometimes pride sets in our way. So we're
Mhm.
not going to tell people, you know what, I do need the support. I
Mhm.
do need that.
Mhm.
But what happened was, guess what the people did in the circle, whether it's friends, family, neighbors, or what have you? They went ahead and acted on that. They didn't wait for her to say, I need this or that. They mowed her lawn. They provided food, I think. So,
Mm.
I said, you know what? That was a lesson learned. I'm going to take that. If I know somebody who's going through a crisis or something devastating, and, if they need something, maybe I'm not going to ask anymore. What do you need? Let me know if you need anything. Matter of fact, do it.
You know what?
Just do it.
You know
Like
what?
Nike.
Honestly, well, I'm gonna speak for myself.
Mhm.
Um, the people that are in my circle that I call
Mhm.
friends, best friends or whatever,
Mhm.
um, I'll automatically know. I don't
Mhm.
have to
Mhm.
ask. Majority of the time, the communication line is open. So if they are dealing with something or going through something,
Mhm.
I'm automatically going to know. That's up to me, however I act on it or whatever the
Mhm.
case may be. But a lot of the time, depending on how strong the friendship is, the relationship is, you should just be able to tell, like, by a tone or
Mhm.
a expression or a energy or a vibe.
Mhm.
And I'm able pretty much to pick up on anybody
Mhm.
that's in my circle,
Mhm.
which I called in my village, but
That's
my
right.
circle. Um, I know when something's up and when something's down for them, and I'm able to jump right in. So
So
sometimes you don't got to ask questions.
you
I
you
just
you you
automatically
you
know.
and you'll do it,
Yeah,
right? And you'll
exactly.
do it.
Yep.
Yep, you'll do it. So say if
Hmm.
somebody says, "Damn, I don't got $50 for gas for the week." You heard that. So you know this person's saying, "Damn, I don't got $50 for the gas for the week. I'm gonna go ahead and cash app them. I'm gonna
Yeah.
sell them $50."
Yeah.
Acting on that. What
Hmm.
they're saying things to you, but you're gonna go ahead and do, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and help them if they need
Exactly.
it. So you're one of those kind of friends.
That's exactly.
There was also something I saw too. On like glance on social media. Y'all know I don't do social media, but I did glance on it. It makes me depressed and sad, like the stories on there. But there was, I think, a chef or something, like an event planner. There was a lady who had a very nice birthday theme set up, food, drinks, and everything, and it was for her birthday. And she invited her friends to celebrate. Guess what, everybody? No one showed up. She wasted all that money, the decor, the setup, which was beautifully done by the chef and everything. So the chef, I wish I had his name, the handler name or username. The chef said, "People don't celebrate nobody no more." I said, "Whoa, that's a good point. People are not showing out and celebrating their friends anymore." And this was for her birthday, and she paid for it and to surprise her friends to come and enjoy themselves. I thought that was fucked up. I'm gonna keep it real. It was fucked up. So I guess that's the thing now. People are not celebrating their friends, and I don't know if that's being with life. Is life taking over all of us that we don't have time to celebrate our friends, or are we too consumed with our own selves, or maybe quote unquote miserable
Hmm.
and don't want to bring miserable energy?
Hmm.
Because some people are like, I'm like that. If I'm not in a good mood, I don't want to be around my friends or family. I'm
Hmm.
protecting their peace as well as my peace and energy. I don't
Yep.
want them to be disturbed
I'm big on
or
that.
disturb them also.
Hmm.
But that lady had a like, y'all, the setup was so beautiful, the food, everything. It looked fun. Like I would go there. I'll be happy my friend did that. And nobody contributed to that. She did that for her birthday to have people come and for them not to show up.
Hmm.
Like he said, are people not celebrating friends anymore?
That's what it's funny because
Come
I'm
on
I'm
now.
very selective. Like I've always kind of probably the past couple years I've wanted to do like big trips or big
Mhm.
parties and stuff like that. But I said just certain people move differently now and
Mhm.
stuff like that. And I wouldn't want that to be the reason why the
Mhm.
friendship devolves.
Mhm.
So what I've
Mhm.
also learned with the friends I do have, because not all of us are in one circle, like some
You have
friendships I do
individuals,
have are
yes.
individually. So I've learned how to deal with those friends individually.
Individually and
And I
doing
have
activities amongst that
them,
group.
that group or
That's
that
smart. That's
person.
smart.
And
Okay.
it just
That's
works
smart.
better that
I think it
way.
does
Because
too.
I've learned, everybody's not the same. We're not
Mhm.
in school anymore. We're all
Personalities.
grown. We got different
Mhm.
lives and stuff like that. And I'm all about energy. So
Mhm.
if I know all the energies are not going to click or it's going to be some on hot and cold type of vibes, I
Mhm.
just don't do those type of things like that where I don't have to set myself up. If I have
Got
to
you.
spread myself through selective people or
Mhm.
something like that, something if I was to have an event or do something big like that, I
Mhm.
would just do it that way. If it's just a dinner or a
Mhm.
movie or there's like an actual house party or go out somewhere or travel somewhere
Mhm.
for some type of thing, I know I'm speaking for myself. I
Mhm.
know which ones that I
That you
can pull together or
which ones you'll
or
do it
or I
separately
have to do
as
separately
with
with.
groups. I respect
Yes,
that. I
yes,
respect that
hmm,
because you're, I guess you're caring about the other friend and you want them
yeah,
comfortable too.
yeah. I
Yeah,
want my people to be comfortable and
comfortable.
have a good time. So if we can't all celebrate together, then it would be okay. And it's
Uh huh.
fine.
Uh
And it's
huh.
no like no malice. There's no
Mhm.
tension.
Mhm.
There's no craziness or none of that. I think we're just all grown and we know where we stand in
Mhm.
each other's lives, and it just
Mhm.
works out better that way.
Hey,
But I've
I'm for it.
actually I can say I've had several successful situations where my whole crowd of people, my whole group of friends were in the same
Mhm.
room and it was good vibes and good energy and all that, and we had a good time. So I'm just thankful for the people that I have in my life and the friends that I have and the what they bring into my life, what I
Absolutely.
bring into theirs. I'm very appreciative of that.
Yes, because it's hard to come by.
It's hard,
It's hard, and some of y'all may
and
know.
and literally all my friendships are from school, maybe even elementary school and all the way up to high school, and those are the same friendships I still have today.
So you still have them. So part of our subtopic was sharing personal stories, and you just led us into that
Yeah.
about
Mhm.
childhood friendships and how those friendships have transformed and or changed over time.
Yes.
So you mentioned that you've had childhood friendships, and some of them, are you friends with all of them, or did some of them, like you said, dissolve?
Some did dissolve. Majority of them are still here today.
They're still here
And
today.
even like the ones that like were like we were super tight, like say like elementary or middle school or something like that. We still communicate. We may not get together, but it's like, you know, we acknowledge each other. We knew that we were good friends or whatever, and it's always good vibes. But like pretty much all my best friends, I've been out of school for 20 years. Are before that. So that's that, and I'm 37, so that speaks a lot of how long the friendships have been.
Am I part of your childhood friend?
Since 1996.
Okay.
1996.
And we're gonna go a little bit deeper, but thanks to my sister,
yeah,
they were friends first.
We were friends first.
Besties first.
We were best friends first.
There's a topic too coming up soon, y'all. Stay tuned about that.
I met you guys in 1996. Me and your sister were in the 3rd grade together, and we lost. I want to say we lost contact for 5th and 6th because you guys moved away and then moved back, and then we reconnected in the 7th grade, and our friendship just bloomed right back to where it was, and then me and you became best friends when we got into high school. Yep. I was a freshman and you were
was it like either
a junior?
Yeah, something like
junior.
that. Yeah,
and like we've been tight ever since then.
So we're childhood. We're also childhood friends. Also,
our families were friends. We lived in the same neighborhood. Yeah.
Also, too, a special thing about the friendship. My sister and SeVen had they've been through a lot together.
We did.
So even to this day, we've been through similarities. That's why our bond is so strong. I did want to mention our bond is strong because we've been through the same things in life.
Yeah.
You know, and we relate. And then guess what, y'all? We can't judge each other because we've been through the same things. So we have a better understanding of each other.
It all makes sense.
It all makes sense to us. With me sharing a personal story with my childhood friendships, I mean, I have a best friend. I don't speak to her much anymore, but we do communicate a couple times a year. You know, I've known her since middle school. A lot of my childhood friendships, when I relocated to this area that I'm living in now, I lost touch with them as time has went on. I did lose touch with some of them, and a lot of them were the female friends that I had. The male friends, we still keep in contact every now and then, but it was my female friendships. Even when the state I was born in, I'm not gonna give too much detail, the state I was born in, we had childhood friends there. But again, when we relocated, I lost touch with those people. So I wonder, you know, I'm not having regrets or, you know, but sometimes you wonder, what would have happened if we would have stayed in contact with them still? You know, even as adults now, we're all adults, we're grown, some have families, some are married, some have children, so on and so forth, successful, living their lives, living their best lives. You know, I wonder how would that have been if we had a long distance friendship, but, you know, it never happened. So, and that happens, that happens. People grow apart. And distance, sometimes long distance friendships don't last either at times. So, and this was childhood. I mean, we could have made an effort on social media to meet up, you know, but we didn't. And that happens too, because I guess, like I said, life changes happen in life. It's all about life.
I agree.
So let me mention this. Last year, I had a conversation with my little baby sister, and she made a statement, and it stuck with me. And I was like, okay, we're going to use that for content as a meme for our social media channels. This is what she said. This was last year, as we mentioned, and it's posted on our social media channels, as I mentioned. She said, how do people pick and choose who they selectively want to have in their life during their up and down moments? I sat back like, yo, I had to think about that.
Mm-hmm.
That was some real shit my sister has said.
Mm-hmm.
My baby sister. I said, look at her speaking the knowledge there. Baby sister giving knowledge. How do people pick and choose who they selectively want in their life during their up and down moments?
Mm-hmm.
To me, is that using a friend or the friendship when they do that? Like,
you know what? I wouldn't even say that. You know what? Something that I learned. I'll say this. Okay, so me and your sister, we graduated high school in 2005. And so before that, you know, the teen years, all that stuff like that was good and all that stuff like that. Fun, right? Even though we experienced things coming up, but we could say we had a good teen, you know, being preteen, teenagers, and children. We got to be kids and all that stuff like that. I felt like the real world hit a lot of us after we got out of school.
Hell yeah.
And for some reason, I felt like it also kind of made us also closer because we understood certain things. We saw certain things coming up. So I really didn't have to pick and choose, and I'm just speaking for myself, who to have around up or down. I just knew who I was able to share maybe those down or rough moments with, because they will understand, because it also protected the friends that may not understand, because they may not have that type of experience where I would get upset with them like, well, they don't care or they don't understand.
Okay.
So that part of my life may not have had anything to do with them. They wouldn't have got it. So I wouldn't allow them to be in that space of that situation. But there were certain friends that I did have that understood or may had the same struggles.
Okay.
And was like, okay. And we were able to, like, you know, cheer each other on, uplift one another, or just have a better understanding.
Like
relate and get through certain situations together. But I didn't allow that to bring a wedge between the other friends that may not understood that. You know, I may not just not shared that certain information with them. But what I will say is, as time as time went on and we got older, some of those friends that didn't have those experiences or didn't have these childhood experience or didn't have a rough start out, they started to experience things. And then they still came to me and talked to me or shared it with me. So then I was able to relate to them. Well, yeah, back during that time, you know, I kind of went through that and this is what I did. Da, 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 da. And they're like, okay. And then the thing about it is, it makes the friendship even stronger.
And it also, too, I want to add on to what he said, what SeVen said. You don't feel alone.
No.
A lot of times in life, we feel isolated and alone in certain situations.
Yeah.
So am I right on that?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
You are.
It creates like a sense of connectivity.
And I'll say this to you guys, viewers and listeners. I'll say this
Sofa
to
talkers.
You. Sofa talkers, thank you. When it comes to friendships, this is not talking about your siblings or your family, nobody like that. With your friendships, you do have to know who you're talking to. I personally feel that everybody should be able to have a safe space with somebody special in your life or in your friendships. Somebody out of the clique should know just about everything. I have that with Aster. And not saying, and I always say this all the time, everything is not for everybody, because once again, you don't want to get mad at certain friends that just don't understand you at the moment, or what you're dealing with, or the changes you're going through and all that.
Yes.
But there's always one, I don't care what nobody says, there's always that one person, and you could say, this person gets me in and out. And it doesn't mean that the other friends aren't good friends. It doesn't mean none of that. It doesn't take any of their qualities and values away from the friendship. But you should just always kind of have that. You should be able to have a safe place in the friendships that you do have. I'm really, really big on that. You got to have that one friend where, you know, they know the worst of you, and it's going right to the graveyard with them when they leave this earth. You know what I mean? And it's just good to have that. People need to have people that understand them during their down moments and their high moments.
Yes.
But once again, the kind of jump back what we were talking about, guys, I did want to say this too. You don't want it to make it come off as you're using certain friends for certain parts of your life.
Thank you for mentioning that.
I want to make that clear.
That's not right. And you got to be humble.
That's not right.
because you may need them
Don't
if you
do that.
you fall on your ass.
Still keep the
Sorry.
friendships and stuff the same with the ones that may not have a certain experience that you're dealing with. Don't change the friendship because of that.
Because you reach this high ladder.
Yeah, but still keep the friendship the same. And it's not saying like you're hiding things or whatever. They just may not understand. And if you want to protect the friendship and you don't want to look at them like, oh, they really don't care, because they just don't know. They never experienced that. So you don't want, and everybody's feelings are different. So people I have a best friend, another best friend in my life he's on the same level as Aster. But when it goes deep, and if I'm bringing something deep into our conversation, he doesn't go there because that's not his thing. But it doesn't make him any less of a friend
or a loyal
if that
friend.
makes sense.
He's a loyal friend. He's a loyal one.
If he doesn't have a reply back to what I'm discussing or what I'm feeling, just that
he's
him
listening.
having that listening
ear, yes.
And I know it's not going nowhere, and he's not judging me. It doesn't get no better than that.
Shout out to him. I know who you are. Shout out to you.
So you and as you get older, guys, y'all will see that, and you'll look, and it'll make sense on why you have these people in your lives. And the person that I'm talking about has been my best friend since the 6th grade. He's a male. He's my male best friend, and he knows just about everything that Aster knows. But the thing about it is that just our experience are a little more different. So if I have to go deep and I'm dealing with some deep, crazy shit, he's just going to be there and he's going to listen, and he'll say, it's going to be all right. It's okay. He can't have a resolution or dig deep into the conversation, but he's there. He's still being encouraging, and he's listening, and I don't feel judged. So you got to be able to read between your friends, because at one point I was going through a time, and I was like, some of my friends may just don't understand me, or they're not locked in the way that I'm locked in with them. But you have to learn your friends' personalities. You have to understand them. You got to understand where they're coming from, because some people also aren't able to carry other people's baggages and their weight. You know what I'm saying? Some of us tend to take on everybody's problems, but then you got some of the people that take on everybody's problems, and then it's like, well, damn, who's going to be there for me? I fixed everybody else, and now I'm going through something. Everybody's all happy, and now I don't have the same support that I was given.
Yes.
So you just have to have those relationships, know the relationships, and that will keep the friendships going. And you don't have to pick and choose who's there. Everybody's going to be there in their own kind of way when you're up and when you're down, or when you're just right in the middle. It's just how you deal with them accordingly and how the relationship is. And then you don't have no problems in the friendships. You won't.
Checkmate. So with that being said, there was a popular DJ that I had listened to. This was about maybe 2, 3, could be even 4 years ago. I'm not going to name his name, but he was on a local radio station. And this is relating to friends choosing who they want selectively choosing who they want during their up and down moments. He had ended friendships because when he started reaching new heights in his life, his friends couldn't afford his new.
Excuse me, guys.
It's okay. Okay. So when he started elevating in life, he ended friendships because his friends couldn't afford his new lifestyle, and I guess how the way he was elevating in life. He mentioned that, I guess, something to the fact that they didn't have money to partake in his activities, I guess doing the luxury, lavishing things, doing new things, exploring new things, traveling to places, things like that. And to me, I personally think that was wrong. I think that is wrong. It does not matter if you reach success in life, because that's what we're supposed to do. We want to, attain and like we said, elevate and reach higher heights. But the people that were there for you during your moment when you didn't have much money or you were not quote unquote successful, I feel that you still owe those people some type of loyalty.
Yeah, of course.
And let me tell you something else. I'm gonna add on to that. There's no problem with him, wanting to try new things, new hobbies, because we're not supposed to stay stagnant in life. We're supposed to change. We're supposed to meet new people. If that's in the cards for us, meet new friends. Say, for instance, if this DJ, if he met a friend that could afford his lifestyle, he hangs out with them and they do things together. But don't forget about the friends that were there for you when you couldn't afford the lifestyle you're living now.
Absolutely.
Still keep in touch. Still also do things with them that they could afford. Or if you have the money, if you since you big baller are doing it, how about you pay half or treat? You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Don't just cut people to the curb because you're elevating and making it and looking down on people, because you never know when you might fall on your ass, as I mentioned earlier.
I agree.
Keep those friendships. Meet new people that could, that could afford your lifestyle, but still keep in touch, in contact with the people that were there for you when you were at the bottom before you reached that. Be humble.
I'm so
be humble. Have humility. Yeah. Have humility. I always tell SeVen here, SeVen, when I make it big, because I'm claiming that, when I make it big with my business, whatever, I will always remain true and humble. I'm not shitting on nobody and I'm not looking down on nobody. Why? Because I know what it's like to be at the bottom of the bottom of the bottom and sacrificing for multiple years, decades on everything. I know what it's like. So I'm not going to shit on you. I'm not going to look down on you.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying?
My friends,
that's my quality.
My friends are my friends no matter what. And no matter what I have, no matter what. And that's the good thing. That's the thing about friendships, when they are able to remain a friendship no matter where you are in life, and the friendship stays the same.
Yes.
I'm so big on that.
Like I would even explain to SeVen here, him and I had talks about this before. Like I said, SeVen, if I can't go on vacation with you because my money might be funny right now, I said, another thing with me too, y'all, I want my people to do good and do without me. I said, go ahead and go without me. You don't need me to go. You're going to miss out on life. Go without me. Go without me. Because I don't want you to stop because your friend can't afford to go or don't have the money to go or the timing may not be right. I always enforce him. Go ahead and go. Go ahead and go. I can't get mad.
And what do I say? What do I always say? If I got it, then you're going.
You got it, yes. But sometimes my pride be I'm going to be real with y'all. My pride be in the way. Sometimes I like to do things myself. It's hard for me to ask for things. He knows that. It's hard for me to ask, but I appreciate it. But it's so hard, y'all. I'm working on that because it could be a blessing. But it's very hard. So, but I'm just telling, go, other people go. Even with my sister. My sisters are my best friends. My the middle sister and the baby sister, we're best friends also. I'd be like, do your thing. I'm not stopping y'all. I want people to have fun. I want people to live life, experience it. I don't want to be the reason to hold somebody back from doing something. That's not life. Y'all gotta live. And I'm okay with that. And I think that's big enough for me to say that. There's no jealousy. There's no envy there. I want my people to do good and live life. This is what life is about. We got to live our life. I also forgot to mention, this is a good topic. This was based on the friends and being a better friend and things like that. What I noticed is that some people are so reserved with telling their friends their business. If you're not okay, if your friend asks you, let them know you're not okay. Oftentimes, people don't want to show that vulnerable side and want to put a brave face on. So if you're always feeling good, as you claim, your friends will always see you as the go-to happy-go-lucky person, y'all. Remember that. I learned, this is myself personally, to be vocal to my friends and family if I'm not feeling my best. I feel people have friends for different reasons. You may have a friend to party with. You may have a friend that you treat like a vault, like SeVen and I. And we could also party too. SeVen fits all my characteristics of being a friend. He's all that. But treat like a vault because you trust that friend and they can hold your secrets. You may have a friend you just talk to when you have a problem. You just go to that person. I'm gonna call them up because I know they'll have my back and they'll be there for me. And you get my point there. Also, this is something so big, so big, so big, so big, so big. The term, and y'all heard it, moving in silence. Okay. Whew, I got opinions on that, y'all. With friends, or even I'm gonna put family in there too, because family could be friends too. Like I said, my sisters are my best friends also. Should we use that term, moving in silence? I feel that term is mainly for social media.
Yeah.
When your social media friends that don't give a fuck about you, that are nosy and everything like that. Y'all know y'all be liking that juice on social media that are nosy, moving in silence. I feel like friends should see your highs, your lows, your failures, your successes. If you get rejected, and accept it.
Mm-hmm.
As we know, life isn't perfect. And when we hold on to things and not share with friends, it promotes like a front, like you're living a perfect life,
Mm-hmm.
unscathed. Let me tell you something too with the old school people. You know, I'm an old school person at heart. The old school people, like my late grandparents, rest in peace to them, both on my mother and my father's side,
Mm-hmm.
um, they value friendships. Let me tell you what. Back in the day, I used to call their friends aunts or uncles, or aunt or uncle. And it wasn't until I was a teenager or a young adult I found out those people weren't my aunts or uncles by blood or marriage. But you see how the love my grandparents have for these people, they became family like. So let's put that in perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Friends become family. I remember when Seven and I talk all the time, him and I be having our conversations off the record from here.
Mm-hmm.
Seven mentions disposable friends all the time. And I love when he mentions that, like, you could just trash your friend away. You could just
Mm-hmm.
throw them in the trash. Um, and I know he came across a story on social media of a lady, and she thought she had a friend and they were close, but the other friend didn't take it that way. Remember that story about the
Yeah, I
friend?
remember
And,
that.
and remember about, I think there was a baby. And she's like, "Oh, I don't let people come in my house." But the girl was like, "I thought we was friends."
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
yeah,
that was
yeah.
crazy. She felt really betrayed by that
Uh-huh.
situation. That was, I remember that, and she was like, she kept reaching out to her. She wanted to give her time, and then the girl didn't want her to come around, or she wouldn't answer the calls. Or yeah, and she thought the friendship was there was an actual friendship, and the other girl was like, "Nah, I don't think so."
So that's kind of hard. That makes you think like how do you know if this you have one way of thinking this person's your friend, but then you have the other person thinking, "Nah, we ain't cool like that." You like,
There's some
come
people
on.
that don't really think about stuff like that.
Hmm.
Some people think because they hit it off, that automatically makes them friends. Like you can use for, oh, I met somebody at work. We're gonna go out for drinks one day, and then automatically because y'all had a good
Yeah,
time at
yeah,
work
yeah,
or y'all
yeah.
had to drink or something like that, y'all are like really good friends. And then it was just like, well, maybe that just was for that moment. I'm not really interested in
Uh-huh.
opening to a new friendship and stuff like that. So that's why I say, guys, you got to just be able to read into people and just kind of really pick up their vibe, know where they're coming from, who they are, are they looking for friends? Are they,
Hmm.
all that stuff. Like, it's just like dating, you kind of got to get to
Yes,
know the
yes. That's
person,
what I
and
was
then
gonna
you
say.
kind of
Dating.
see
Yes.
where it goes, so you won't have no high expectations of this person, and they're not, delivering anything to a friendship or making a friendship or anything like that.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
I guess also too, stop thinking everybody's your friend.
that too.
Start them off as an associate.
Had to learn
Right,
that the
right.
hard
It's
way.
levels to friendships.
I
Level up.
had to learn that the hard way. Boy, do I tell you. And
Yes.
I have also been a disposable friend.
Mm,
And you know
mm,
what? And that could just be me setting my ways, looking at the situation as being looked at as a disposable friend, like I was being
mm-hmm.
disposed. But what I've also learned too in this grown age is seasons and reasons.
Yes.
And my thing is, if the situation ended like it just kind of just, okay, you went your way, I went my way. There was
Mm-hmm.
no arguments, there was no beef, and there was nothing that really led to it, and you just separated from the friendship. I'll take that. And I had to go back and look at some things, but then I also kind of think about, like, especially some of the friendships that carried out after high school and
Mm-hmm.
another decade after high school, and those types of things like that, and some really memorable times and just good
Mm-hmm.
vibes and just spending so much time together. And then it's just one day you just stop speaking, and then you look and it's been like 5-6 years. I'm like, what happened?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
I know life gets in the way, but it was just like, I thought I was closer to this person and we shared so much. Like,
Mm-hmm.
how did it? But my mom always says, people come in your life for seasons and reasons, and you kind of just got to be able to pick up on that. And I
Yes. She's
have.
right.
And so I can honestly say today, in 2025, the people
Mm-hmm.
that I call my friends, my village, my people,
Mm-hmm.
they're the closest thing to blood. Um,
Mm-hmm.
they are here for every reason in my life, and
Mm-hmm.
probably to the end of my life. I don't see them.
Yes.
They're not seasonal. We might have had ups and downs in the beginning of the friendship, especially when we were younger and teeny
Mm-hmm.
poppers.
Mm-hmm.
But to carry these friendships out, and we're
To adulthood
to
and still
adulthoods in
making
our
it.
30s and early
Mm-hmm.
40s, that speaks speaks a lot about
Mhm.
them, their character, my character. So obviously, I brought something to the friendship to make the friendship last this long. So
Mhm.
I'm just thankful for that. And I'm even thankful for the seasonal people because obviously they were
You
in my life
learn.
for lesson. I mean,
Mhm.
for a reason, and we had our time and it was fun while it lasted. And then,
Mhm.
life moves on. So I'm even thankful for them. But my people that are still solid 20
Yes.
plus years,
10 toes down.
I'm grateful and thankful for them. I love them, and I always have their back there, like family, or
Mhm.
we, our children, or what our parents, or
Mhm.
whatever our families
Yes.
know. And I'm just grateful for the people that have remained in my life,
Absolutely.
and I
Same
value
here.
them. I do
Same
value
here.
them.
Same here. Same here. Here, I mentioned this a little bit earlier. I said, hold on, y'all, because we're going to get to another part of the segment about this topic. Sofa talkers, do you honestly think there can be an issue with befriending your best friend's sibling and you may bond better? The same can go with a mutual friend. I'm going to give an example of that. Like, my mom had a friend, and then she had another friend, and then she had introduced them to each other. And guess what happened? Those two friends became closer than my mother, and they had their own friendship, and they built that friendship.
Mm-hmm.
Example, SeVen and I, we're close also. He's close with my sister still. They're best friends. We're all best friends, like the three amigos or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, three amigos. But him and I bond closer. So, and I just wonder if that's an issue. My father, he has a best friend, and then he is also close with his best friend's sister, and I think they might be a little bit closer. These things happen in life. This happens.
What happens?
And it happens. And I always say, what is there to get mad about or feel some kind of way about? Because the friend is going to be around the family.
Yeah,
You're around your
your
family.
family at this point.
You're at
We
this
all
point.
together.
We're all together. So we're all friends and family, best friends, and in family. You're around us, so you're gonna become a best friend, and we're gonna bond and everything like that. I think that's beautiful too, having those relationships, even though they can be kind of, there could be some type of conflict, that could arise from that, like, oh, you took my friend, or that's my friend first, or you weren't worried about us, and things like that. I think it's a beauty behind it, because like it's good because you know it's all in the family.
Yeah, it's all in the.
It's all in
It's
the
all good. It's
family.
all
It's
love.
all in the family. Now with the mutual friend thing, I don't know how would I feel about that. Like, damn,
You know what? I had a.
damn.
We're we're no longer we're no longer friends anymore, and that was one of those seasonal friendships,
Mhm.
and it lasted for a long time also too.
Mhm.
But this guy that I was super close to that became a
Mhm.
best friend, one of his homeboys became my best friend also
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
And it
Good
kind of
point.
drew a little wedge between them. But I was looking at
Mhm.
like, yo, we all bros, like, all three of us
Yes.
stood together, but you can't help who you click with. But the
Mhm.
other friend got to look at it like, well, shit, I brought all of us together, so we're all
Mhm.
as one. It shouldn't be like, oh, you took my friend, or
Yes.
you hang out with this
Yes.
friend more than the other. Nah, like we all, and God rest my bros.
Rest in
So may
peace.
he
Yep.
rest in
Rest in
peace.
peace.
But even um, if he was still here today,
Mm.
I would not call that a seasonal friendship.
No, hell
Even
no.
though the person that made us become,
There
well,
you
helped us
go.
become friends,
Speak about it.
that was a seasonal friendship,
Yes. Yes.
unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
But
Mm.
the gentleman that passed, if he was
Mhm.
still here today, he would still, me and him would still be bros,
Mhm.
absolutely, because
Mhm.
we were
Mhm.
when he left this earth, and
Mhm.
then we were when the other person no longer were in a friend's place,
Yes. Yes.
a brotherhood or what have you.
Mhm.
He still remained there,
Mhm.
and our relationship was actually stronger,
Mhm. And he respected you because you were loyal to
and he
him,
respected
or
that.
always loyal to him.
Yep,
Always loyal to him.
always
He
loyal to
remembered
him.
that. People remember those small things and the loyalty. That's big
Yeah,
with friendships. So
absolutely.
he always remember that.
He went through a little rough time, and he was away for a
Yep.
while, and
Yep.
we still
Yep.
communicated,
People remember
still
that.
all of that. And
Mhm.
when he was free, it was like nothing never changed.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I know that was probably one of my persons, one of my peoples to
Yep.
be in my life.
Yep.
It definitely wasn't a seasonal friendship.
Hell no. Hell no.
Absolutely. And we met in adulthood. We were in our 20s,
See,
early
see,
20s.
see,
So yeah.
see.
Hmm.
See, this is, this is very common, y'all. Some of y'all may be dealing with this. Some of this, y'all may know somebody dealing with this. Friendship jealousy. Let's hit that. Ouch, 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 ouch. Can you be friends, or can the friendship work if your friend is jealous of you?
No, it cannot work.
It cannot work. I agree.
It cannot work.
Okay, so it cannot work. Okay, I agree. And how can you tell if your friend is jealous of you? What are the red flags?
I think that's simple. You're not feeling supported, or them talking about you behind your back, or
comparing,
or them competing, or them looking down on you. You could pick up a jealousy energy. I mean, you could just pick it up. Like, there's no way you could tell when somebody really doesn't fuck with you or is jealous with you. And it's crazy because these are your people that you share the most intimate times in whatever within life. But you are able. I have picked it up, and I was like, I'm not the type that's really argumentative, and I really don't. If I don't have to address something, I don't. What I've also learned getting older kind of is like, silence is deadly. Sometimes you don't have to say anything. You know what I'm saying? Just kill people with kindness and just kind of like fall back. But I've also caught myself even knowing that the person may be jealous, I also know the good in them.
Okay.
So I still kind of keep them in my life, but I also kind of distance myself, but I still keep that there's still a relationship there, but I just fall back because I'm peeping things, characters of them that I don't really care for, but I don't want to clash over it, because if you do address it, or it can go left, and it may not have to go there. And that person might be dealing with their own insecurities or their own issues in their life. And because you might be in a good place in your life, they're looking at you a certain way, or they're not understanding your growth. They're not understanding your life, or why you might be in a good season and they're not. You know what I mean? And I'm one of them type of people, even when I'm able to read that or see that and say one of my peers are in their season. Right? I'm not the one to throw my season in their face. Or make them feel like, well, this is where I'm at. And no.
Yes.
So if I have a friend that's not in their season, say they're dealing with some stuff, they're struggling, mental health, finances, job, whatever the case may be, I'm still going to show them that I'm there and that I haven't changed. I'm still, so you're going to get through this, because this is going to change. Watch, doors are going to open. That's going to go away, or this is going to get better. That's the type of friend. So when I do feel that energy, I know, and especially because everybody that I have in my circle, I know them. So if I am getting a jealous spirit for them, it's because of what they are. It's not because of me. I think it's their own insecurity of what they're dealing with. But I'm able to kind of step out of myself and kind of be like, nah, this is still my person. They still good, but they're going through some stuff. So I'm here. Just because I'm in my season don't make me any different from you. We still rollers. I still got your back. You still got mine. So sometimes you have to let it be known, no matter where you are in your life. If we supposed to be friends or family, it's going to be that. Nothing's not going to change that. As far as on my end, I know it's not. But some people have their traumas. People have their things. They have their own things that they're dealing with and stuff like that. Sometimes they don't get to see the bigger picture. And that's unfortunate. And when you are able to tell that person, well, you know what, maybe this is really them, then that's when you're able to kind of be like, you know what, maybe this ain't the friendship that I thought it was.
So that's when you handle them accordingly.
And that's when you start to handle them accordingly. You fall back.
Especially
if you're not ready to speak on it, or if they really don't, but their actions are speaking louder than words. You kind of got to take that. You can't ignore that.
So what are some signs here that identify or indicate a friendship may be unhealthy or toxic? We mentioned jealousy is the number one. Jealousy, that's the number one.
Negativity. I mean, if a person is comfortable to talk down on you in your face or in your space or even behind your back, you have the question like, is this really my person? Is this really my people? I don't expect none of my friends to gaslight me or gas me up or all that's just because we tight. I expect you to keep it real with me. I'm that type of friend. Now, if I'm acting a certain way or doing something that's not of me that you know because you so-called know me and you check me on that face to face or over, then I have the utmost respect for you. But if they kind of doing funny things behind your back or making comments or talking about things that they shouldn't be talking about that's pertaining to you, yeah, absolutely.
So, I want to share something because we mentioned jealousy. And, at my many jobs I've been at, a job hopper, I've been at many jobs. This was over a decade ago. I came across a coworker. Listen to what she told me. She mentioned to me that jealousy is not a bad thing. It's natural. And again, it isn't bad. She said it's used as a motivator or to inspire you. So when she told me that, y'all know I analyze things and I have to sit back and process it. I said, oh. She was like, if somebody had a car, we'll say like a Lexus. If somebody had that Lexus, I might be jealous because I want that Lexus too, but I know I can get it. So I see what she's saying. So that's why I wanted to put that in here with the whole jealousy thing. I think this was appropriate for me to mention that. And from a personal discussion I had, she was older than me.
And that's true. Maybe because I hate the word jealousy because it's such a negative thing.
Yeah.
I think it's all, I think it's all about the character, like, or not the character, but how they go about it. Like, okay, like for instance, we could say that, oh, all right, she got a house. Okay, well, I want one. I want to get a house. You know what I mean? But that doesn't necessarily kind of like make you jealous. It will make you jealous if you're like, well, how did he or she get that house? They didn't work hard for that or this and that.
When there's negativity.
When there's negativity into something like that. Yes, that's just criticizing.
Okay.
Yes.
That's
jealousy is a normal, natural instinct of any human being.
Yes, she said it's not bad.
But it's about how, and that's why I said I don't like using that word, the word jealousy in certain situations like that, because jealousy is a negative. I don't care. It's negative.
It's negative, but she said it's not. She said jealousy isn't bad. She said it's inspiration and motivator. So that's what she told me,
and that's her opinion.
Yeah,
that's her
opinion. She said this is what tells me. So I was like, oh, okay. But my thing is too, SeVen and I, we both, when people are up, and this is personal, in their winning seasons, doing good, even doing better than we are.
We're the cheerleaders.
We are the cheerleaders. We are always happy, even if we are at the bottom. Like I said, I've been at the bottom of the bottom for so long. I'm pulling myself back up now. It's only one way, like they say, to go up now. We have always been the cheerleaders. When we're going through our own mental issues, problems, or whatever, when people are still coming to us, venting about us, celebrating their milestones, their achievements, their successes, we have always been happy and had their back, even when we were not where we want to be or are not at our best. And I think that's very good friendship.
That is a good friendship. And to kind of piggyback on the jealous thing with that too.
Go ahead.
Especially when you're at the bottom, I'm one of them type of people. If I'm not in my season and one of my friends are, whatever the case may be.
You are.
In the back of my mind, it's like, my time's going to come.
Yes,
my season's going to come.
Yes,
why am I going to be upset because my person is in their season? I'm supposed to celebrate them. Especially if they've been working hard and if they've been
and you saw them. And you saw just like
them.
when you see me about to elevate, you're going to be like, yes.
That's what I want for my person. That. So why would I be jealous of that?
Thank you.
But what I do say, I'm just going, my time will come.
My time will come.
And I feel like everybody that, like, I can just speak for my circle. The people that I have in my circle, they encourage me when I'm at my low. So even if they're high, they're not looking down and saying, well, you're never going to get here. This is never going to happen for you or anything like that. They're like, oh, watch and believe. You can do this. This is going to happen. This is what you, and so it makes you even, so why would you have to be jealous? Why would you have to be jealous?
Because we could all get that.
Anybody can
sometimes it takes us slower. I know in my life, I found out, in my 40-year-old self, it's taking me longer to get the things. I don't mean I won't get there, but it's just taking me a little bit longer. I'm okay with that.
I'm just wondering,
what I'm saying? What's for me is for me.
What's for me.
I'm comfortable in my shoes and my timing and understand my timing, the right person, right place, and right time. I understand that. I'm comfortable with that. Hello. Hold on. Let SeVen cough it out.
Excuse me, guys. I got an itchy cough today. My bad.
Let SeVen cough it out. So we identified signs that indicate a friendship may be unhealthy or toxic. Now, what strategies should we use for addressing issues with friends in a respectful way? Like, I guess with all the jealousy, the toxicness, handling them accordingly.
Well,
I mean, like,
what I
what
would
do we
do
do?
is,
Like,
if you know the person, you know the person. So obviously, if you've been friends with a person for a long time, you should be able to know that they're dealing with something or something's going on in their life. They might be in a dark place or whatever. So even during my season, to make them still feel good, and this is not taking the light off of you to shine off of you, but you're still being there, because some people don't want to be forgotten about or feel like they're never going to have a chance. They're never going to have a good season. Things are never going to work out for them. So if you kind of give them that reassurance and still be supportive, even though you're in your season and maybe your friend is not, that will uplift, and then that will stop the jealousy. Because I don't honestly think people will keep, and I don't think people would keep a relationship with anybody that is jealous of them, that really actually has jealousy is their thing. They're a jealous person. You might go through jealous moments, but being a jealous person, that's something totally different. Some people may get off on that. They might like the drama and all the extraness, but I wouldn't want anybody to be jealous over me.
So you would no doings with the friendship at all if they were jealous.
If they were a jealous person,
if they were jealous
and that
person.
was their character. Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah.
So can you clarify?
Because that's a character trait. That's a character trait.
Can you clarify one more time how, like in a respectful way, like how would you address this with them, or do you just leave it alone? Or
I would address it. I would speak and say, well, once again, all right, I'm speaking for myself. So what I'm saying is, I would know. So okay, let's use this.
I walk away.
Okay, so let's say this for instance, right? Say I get a new job, and it pays a lot of money.
Okay.
And you just lost yours.
Yes.
Me as a friend, and this is just me, I'm not going to throw my new job and how much money I'm making in your face while you're already feeling down about your situation, because that can draw jealousy. That not saying that you would be a jealous person, right? But that could cause jealousy, because you might be thinking like, well, damn, I did this, I did that, and this happened to me, and now my best friend's taking off. They got pretty much what I want. So that wouldn't be our discussion. I would kind of be able to put that to the side. I'm the type of friend, so what's going on? Well, have you looked here? Have you applied here? A job's going to come. This is going to happen. That's the type of friend that I am. And I feel like if I'm reassuring that person, I don't think that it could lead to jealousy.
But also too, with friendships too, as we mentioned, friends got to understand when friends win, we have to still be happy. Like we mentioned earlier, how we're still happy for people when
but everybody's different.
It's sad that you have to feel that way, or the person
won't be happy. And because life has gotten so much harder for people over the past decade,
that you have to filter that. That's your accomplishment.
You have to, but if you care, I'm speaking for myself. I can't speak for everybody else. So for you guys, I can't speak for how y'all may feel, because some people want, hey, I'm going to boast. I'm going to talk about it. I worked hard. I did this. I've been through this, and I'm here. And that's fine.
And you may feel people should be happy for you. Especially
I'm not going to take that away from you, but I'm one of those type of people that I'm proud enough to say that I'm able to kind of still step down from my light to make sure still that my people that may be going through something, to still make them feel good during my season. That's all I'm saying, to reassure them, to support them, so they won't have to feel low or feel that there is a competition or they're feeling some type of way towards me. You know what I'm saying? Like say one of your friends, like we just talked about the trips or whatever, and you were talking about finances. If I know now, and you don't have to do this, but once again, I'm speaking about the type of person I am. If that's my ride or die, that's my best friend, and I know the same would be in return for me, and I'm able to sponsor them or support anything, so because I want them along on that journey, I'm going to make that happen. They don't owe me anything, but once again, that depends on the relationship that you have with that particular friend, because every friend is not like that. You have to know who your friends are. So with that being said, that's why I said I wouldn't have a jealous person in my friendship circle if that's their character. Now they can be going through a jealous moment, but to be a jealous person and that be your character. Because we've heard of people that person's always that's a jealous. She's jealous. He's jealous.
Jealous spirit.
They're jealous spirit.
You can feel it.
You can feel it. Their words say it all. Their actions say it all. So me, I wouldn't choose to have that in my company. But I'm also one of them type of friends that would also, I don't like conflict in my relationship.
Yes.
So if I can avoid anything going south in a friendship, I'm able to step back and kind of, I'm not a pushover.
Yeah.
Now, if I have to address something, I will address it. But far as, me being able to kind of step out of the moment to make sure they okay, so they don't feel some type of way.
Yeah.
Because I'm always concerned about other people's feelings. I care about everybody's feelings.
But I still say if you got that raise, don't hold it back. Like, I got that raise.
No, I'm going to celebrate, but I'm not going to throw that in that person's face while I'll talk about, hey, I got a job, this happened, but it's not going to, I got the new job, there's money coming in, we about to move on to the top. And,
so you're saying,
I'm about to buy this car next week.
What you plan on doing?
Yeah, because I don't, while they're feeling down, while they're in that down moment, I wouldn't do that. It would be like a one-time discussion, and then that would be it. Now, if they ask questions, I would share, but I wouldn't put all that on them while they're in a low place.
Like what your plan
that's like
the money.
That's like a recovery addict going to an event where there's a lot of smoking or drinking. Why would you want to put them in that type of way and they have to sit back and be reserved because they don't do that, and it'll make them uncomfortable. They don't do that, so you have to also kind of, I don't know, maybe that's just me, but I just care. I care for people's feelings, and I don't want to make anybody feel uncomfortable or feel some type of way, no matter what. And that kind of can go with the whole, if a person's in recovery or, falling back from certain stuff like that, I wouldn't bring that to them because they are in a sensitive place.
This question's kind of hard, and for us to offer advice when it's time to walk away from a friendship, that's hard. Whenever you have to say goodbye, to end it.
I've only said goodbye once.
But if we're talking to sofa talkers, even the youngsters out there, if we have to give you advice when it's time to walk away from your friendship or how to do it, walking away is never easy. Saying, closing that chapter, especially if you have years invested, especially if you feel the person has potential, especially if you have really good moments. This is hard for us to answer.
I feel like a lot of the friendships that I've had to work. I kind of went the extra mile to make them so they wouldn't dissolve, but I also kind of feel like that kind of helped them carry, also too, because it also showed a side of like, this person really, really fucks with me. This is really my friend. This is really who he says he is, who he presents to be, whatever. But I also have learned where I shouldn't have to keep on pouring out my qualities and my traits that I bring to a friendship. If you don't see it or don't receive it, then it's not meant to be.
Or you keep on pouring into the friend and not pouring back
and not pouring back.
So so that's advice of when it's time to walk away from the friendship.
Yeah.
Or slowly
when there's no. You just know when it's time to end a friendship. There's not, and don't end a friendship because a person doesn't. I've had a friend that and I'm going to say it. I had a friend that I was friends with for a very long time, and that friendship ended about 5 years ago. And on my end, I'm just going to speak my truth. I felt like that friendship dissolved. Not because I wasn't loyal, not because I didn't bring good character or characteristics to the friendship. I wasn't loving, kind, trustworthy, none of that. It was because I wasn't doing the same thing that person wasn't, because I don't go to the club every weekend, or I don't drink, or I stay out late. Is that a reason for a friendship to dissolve?
True.
Unfortunately, that happened to me, because if that friendship if that person pretty much never treated me as I was disposable at the end, we would probably still be friends today also too. To kind of go back to what we were talking about earlier, guys, about being disposable. That was a time I shared so much with this person. I mean, so much. I mean, we had ups, we had downs, wild, crazy stuff. I mean, almost even went to jail. Like, that's how deep the friendship was. And because I got to a place in life, and I'm just speaking my truth, where, not saying because my friends are always one of my priorities, but becoming a father, being a fiance,
different
being home,
responsibilities.
having more responsibilities, and can't be that person no more, shouldn't have dissolved the friendship, but it did. I was still loyal. I was still there. My phone still worked. I still did meetups. I still kept secrets. I still got the secrets today. But to me, I felt disposable because I wasn't that outside. That's what we say now. Outside anymore. I wasn't outside no more. And a decade plus friendship pretty much dissolved because of that. And that made me feel like I was disposable. There wasn't no beef. Now we had times where we had split up and didn't talk for a while, but then we made right back up afterwards. But the last straw, it did make me feel disposable. It was like, well, you're not this person no more. You're not doing that, this and that. So, but that made me feel disposable because I felt like I still had the same characteristics and the same values that made us become friends. Unfortunately, shit happens, y'all.
And also too, when you're always being the one to put more effort into the friendship.
That too,
I'm going to add that might be when it's time to walk away. When they're not engaged anymore, you're putting more effort into it than they are.
Yeah,
that is the time where it would probably be to walk away because the friendship isn't valued.
Nope,
obviously.
It's not valued.
It's not valued.
You guys know.
Y'all know what we're talking about. So that might be when
it's different when
away.
You're a kid. It's different when you're a teenager because you don't see it. But in your adulthood, adulthood, like you're able to really be able to see who's your friends and who's not, and who's here for for a season or a reason. You're able to pick up on that. You're very, very able to pick up on that. But when you're younger, you look past a lot of stuff. You don't really pay no attention to it. Everybody's your friend.
You don't know life.
You don't know. You don't
experiences.
Have.
Always remember too, y'all. Friends are in your life for a reason, season, or a lifetime. And I was dating this one guy, and he used to make jokes about seasonal friendships. And he was saying, oh, they be friends during the summertime, but not friends during the fall or winter or spring. They're friends making up. So, you got those kind of friends too. And I thought that was cute when he said that. Seasonal friendships. That was cute. So we're adults. Remember, our podcast is catered to the 18 years and older. And there are challenges into making friends as an adult.
There is.
And we're going to list some challenges. I think some people are set already with their friends or their friend circle or their friend group where they have that motto, like Drake said, no new friends, no new friends, no new friends, no new. So they're down with the day ones. So we have those where people are not really open to making new friends.
I tried it. I tried it, but I'm day one. I'm day one. I'm really day one. I have clicked with people at work. It's difficult building friendships with people at work. I will say that it's different. It's different.
They don't
because
last.
Y'all also have to have a relationship outside of the job for that friendship to work. Like work friendships aren't real friendships. Let's keep it real, unless it's carried outside out. And I have one that we have been buddies and we no longer work together, but we keep in contact and all that, over 5 years now. But I've tried to because I told you guys before in the beginning, I have a lot of female friends, not too heavy on the male buddies. But the recently when I tried to make more male buddies, it's very awkward.
They were jealous of him.
Catty.
Jealous.
And I'm just like, this is not how us grown men are supposed to act. And I know it wasn't me acting a certain way. And I was just like, yeah, these cats ain't my type of cats. And so, and I met them at work, and I thought we was going to have a, outside friendship outside of work where we like bros and, meet up, support. We all were fathers. We all had, all that stuff going on, wives, whatever, and all that stuff like that. So there was definitely some common traits, but it didn't work. And I was like, you know what? That's why I just stayed with my day ones. I always say I like to meet new people and stuff like that, but as long as I got my day ones, honestly, I'm good. I don't mind associates, and stuff like that. Meet people at a bar, restaurant, you say hi, goodbye, party people, stuff like that. But as far as me trying to, at this grown age that I'm at now, to get a deep connection with another person, I'm good. I have that with what I got now.
I would be open to making a new female friend, maybe one or two.
Yeah.
Somebody like you in a female form, obviously. I'm open to that, but it's very hard because I have trust issues. I'm really guarded. Also, timing. Sometimes y'all ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I don't like to be bothered. I'm sure some of y'all like that too. You're not gonna admit it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't want to be bothered. Sometimes I'm not gonna be your everyday friend, your every clubbing partner friend, going out every weekend. I just want to deal with you, accordingly, occasionally, and have good conversation and women empowerment and stuff like that. But I think it is tough, like I said earlier, making new friends because people have their childhood friends or have their friends they made in adulthood, and they had that motto, like Drake said, no new friends. So that can be challenging, I think.
Yeah.
People have been burnt in the past by people. Again, they're reserved. They're
people
guarded.
will drain you. I say it all the time, guys. I have been drained.
Drama. They're full of drama. Yep. You have to learn a new personality all over again. It's like dating a person, and it may work and it may not work. So it's kind of like that thing.
To each his own.
To each his own. So I think there's challenges, and it's not like how back in school, you kind of were forced to be friends with people because classmates, lunchtime, after school, beginning of school, school bus rides, walking home or whatnot. So it's a little different now as adults. So
yeah, it's different.
Compared to being a child, it's easier to make friends, but adulthood is very challenging.
It is.
As making friends as an adult. So, and I'm going to read an article, reading time a little bit later at the end of the show, to highlight some of this, to educate us a little bit more. Is there a difference between a girl's night out versus a guy's night out when friends hang out? Discuss what each gender typically seeks from these outings. Is it fun, bonding, support, etc.?
So it depends. that right there depends. That depends on if it's the single ladies, if it's the single fellas, if it's the married fellas, the married ladies, or people that are in relationships. Is a little different because when you're single and you're hanging out with friends or whatever, you can do whatever you want, and there's nothing wrong with that. But when you're in a relationship or married, it is a little different.
It's different.
But I have
boundaries.
For the longest, I was the single friend while all my friends had kids and boyfriends and girlfriends, or married or whatever. And so now I'm the one that's with the kids and all that. But I don't care about none of that stuff because I'm one type of people. I respect my family, all that. I respect my friends. So that whole that shit don't. I'm not one. I know what I got to go home to, and no one night is not worth ruining your family over. Personally, I don't. So some people take some, and I'm not knocking nobody who does what they do. I'm not knocking no fellas. Fellas, we gonna be fellas at the end of the day. I'm speaking for SeVen, and I'm just saying I can go out with the fellas and conduct myself, still have a good time, and go home to my wife and kids.
Okay, so with girls' night out, so we're gonna because I'm a female, you're a male. So with girls' night out, when we think of girls' night out, it's about, like I said, like bonding. We're having fun. We're having good conversation. We may be drinking, we're eating, we may be dancing and socializing. Speaking of goals, accomplishments, things that are bothering us with girls' night out. Also, too, some women are on the prowl, especially if you're single, looking for these men out here too, looking for the next ball, the next sugar zaddy, what y'all call it. Looking for opportunities. Sometimes men pay for drinks if you're in those kind of social bar settings, lounges, or clubs. They may pay for the ladies' drinks, especially during ladies' night out, Thirsty Thursdays, things like that. So I'm thinking with girls' night out versus guys, it's more of being cute, and I'm not sure if it's attention seeking. I personally, when I go out to dress and look good. I'm not going out with intentions on, oh, I'm going to pick this man up. I'm going to go home and sleep with him. I'm going to find whatever man I can find. I'm going to find the ballers out there. When I go out, I just dress to impress for myself. Usually men do, I'm attractive. They'll approach me. They want to dance with me. They want to talk to me. But that's not my intentions when I go out. I'm just going out to have a good time.
I think everybody's,
as a woman,
I think everybody's intention is to go out and have a good time.
Have a good time. I'm not going out looking for no man.
Yeah, I think this part right here, this whole discussion right here is kind of like a what you call it?
Like, is it like a contradiction, or is it like a
something like that? Because like I said, it depends on the friendship. It depends on their dating status or their relationships and all that stuff like that. So it doesn't have to automatically go into, well, the fellas go out there, probably out there messing with girls and all. The fellas can go out and go drink beers, watch a game or something like that, have a good time, talk about their wives, and then go home.
But fellas, y'all men are wired a little bit different. Y'all men be on the prowl. Y'all be praised sometimes.
But
y'all be looking at women.
It depends
what
on
a shape on her. I know how y'all
women
men are.
look.
Y'all
Men
come
look.
to me.
Women look. Men look. Everybody looks. What the fuck you got eyes in your head for? Everybody looks. That doesn't mean anything about going out with your friends if that's a problem. If the girls go out or if the males go out.
Because women can talk too, because women can say like, oh, look at his friend. But look at him. I wonder how he is.
That doesn't mean anything. Okay, so it's a difference because going out can be going to a club. Going out can be we're going to go play golf. We're going to go shoot hoops. We're going to the movies. We're going to go drink beers and watch a game. We're going to go shoot guns, or we're going hiking, or we're going. So it depends. Now, if a group of fellas are saying, oh yeah, we're going to the club, or we're going to the strip club, or something like that, yeah, you can expect for something to get a little wild. But if these are men that are family men or that aren't out there in the streets looking for anything, the night out with the fellas probably won't pertain to a lot of that.
But I'm gonna say this: I don't care who likes it or not. SeVen, you too. Y'all men be looking at us women. I said what I said.
And I said what I said.
And I said what I said. I said what I said. Y'all be looking at us women. I know firsthand. Yeah, y'all look at us women.
I said what I said, and y'all women be looking too. Married,
I'm not gonna lie. I'm
gonna
be hypocrite.
With child, y'all women. That's what we are out for. We look. You see something looks good, you're going to look.
Yeah.
Even when you see something that's nasty, you look. You be like, ew. So it's human nature. We can't get around that. The pastor looks. Hell, Jesus Christ is looking down on us. Like, come on now. Come on.
Well, here's another question. Is there a difference, or can problems arise with a girls' or guys' night out when they're single and married friends hanging together? Absolutely.
There could be.
And I'm going to tell you, can I go on?
Yes, you may.
I'm going to tell you, a lot of the married couples may say, you're not going out with him. I know how he moves. He's a player. He does this, that. And then I know my mom would say sometimes, married couples should stay with married couples.
I've heard that too.
Okay, you heard it too.
My dad says that all the time. Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how I feel about that. I'm a respectful woman. So if say SeVen married, whatever, if we go out, I'm not going to egg him on like, oh, look at that shorty or whatever like that. I'm not going to egg him on like that because I have to respect there's boundaries and levels again to this. So I think there could be issues. I'm gonna be honest. There is gonna be issues, but single.
But if the friends have that respect for your situation that you're in, I don't think that would have to. But that's one thing. As when you are in a relationship, and let's say like the person that you're in a relationship doesn't know your friends, then it's a little different because then you shouldn't. Certain things you may know, like you may have that one wild friend, but it's going out with y'all. She's the best friend, but she might be a little fast or gets a little sloppy on the drink.
That's true.
You don't tell your man that because then he would kind of have the idea of thinking that you're like that or you get like that when you're out with her.
Or being influenced.
So sometimes some things should be left alone. But say your man knows all y'all went to school together, college or whatever, and have friendships and relationships outside of that. Then it's looked at a little bit more different versus when somebody knows and doesn't know who your friends are. My wife knows all my friends and she doesn't know all their business, but she knows what she needs to know of them to know that they respect our relationship and that I'm also safe with them.
Okay. I guess I can answer that question.
When y'all got that type of communication and that type of understanding in a relationship, you're not going to have that problem. The only time you have those problems is when you don't communicate it and you don't talk about it.
And you got to set boundaries for your friend and and reassure your partner so there's no insecurities.
Absolutely.
So, just everybody give respect. RESPECT.
My wife knows, she knows all my female friends. And it's all love when we all together. And and I spend time with my female friends without her being around. And it's no disrespect. One of my best female friends, she's married. Her husband knows me. I'm welcome to their home, even if he's not. It's not none of that. It's all respect. But once again, it also goes back to the beginning of the relationship and communicating that with your partner. Like, hey, my best friend is a male, or hey, my best friend is a female. We've never crossed the line, but this is how we roll. We're like brothers and sisters.
You don't got nothing to worry about.
And once you lay that out there, you won't have those insecurities or those problems in the relationship.
Checkmate. Checkpoint. So if your friend gets into a new relationship, say for me, for instance, gets engaged or married and you're still single, can that really change the friendship? Do some friendships suffer or thrive during this transition? It can be emotional, I think.
It can, because some people feel like they're going to lose their friend. Maybe. I got two best friends that are actually married right now, females, and our relationships are pretty much the same.
Okay,
just the one.
Cool.
There's one I don't get to see her much, but it's not because she's married. She just lives a little differently. But her husband welcomes me to their home. We all talk, even when he's not there. You know, you go to their house to swim, hang with their kids. It's all that. So it just really depends how people are carrying their friendships and still keeping the friendships going. Because you hear there's people that have been friends for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. And then you have friends that, hey, once we got out of college, or hey, once we got married, then we split. And those kind of go to those seasonal type of relationships. But in my adulthood, where I'm at, I don't have no more. I don't have space for seasonal. No. And I just don't have no seasonal people in my lives.
No.
And it works. It works for the people that are in my life. It all works. I have my cousin. He's my cousin, but he's my best friend. He's married also too, and it didn't change the dynamic of our relationship. You know, so it really depends on the people, because there are people that will go into new settings in life and then will forget about their friends, because there's some people that don't value friendships, or
their partner might have a strong hold over that. Like, I don't want you being with these friends or whatever. They're single. That could be something to y'all.
And that's the thing.
They're single. What do they know? They're going to influence you also to do wrong, or going to give you bad advice.
You got to be able to stand on your own 10 on that one. That's up to you. Because if you know the person that's your friend, and you know the person that you are, that you don't let any outsider outside of your marriage or your relationship control anything that's going on, then there shouldn't be no problem. There should be no problem.
I agree.
Anybody that wants to control their partner's friends or situations is somebody that doesn't want nobody to know what they might be doing or what they might be going on, or to know the real them. Because a real friend's going to look out for you. A real friend's going to have your back. A real friend's going to tell you when you need to pack the bag. The real friend's going to tell you when you need to sign those papers.
But then there you okay. So what you just
mentioned. Wait. Hold on. But because, and the reason why I'm saying that is because if you don't have nobody in your life that has your back, and when you're dealing with stuff or going through it, you don't have nobody to give you that outlet to talk to you. So you're stuck with whatever you're dealing with and the person that you're with. So you have no other choice, because you're out here in the world alone. I don't have my family. I don't have my friends because my husband or my wife wanted me to cut all ties with them. And so I feel like when you are married or dating or engaged to a person that doesn't want you to have relationships with family and friends, you got to be concerned about that person that doesn't want other people in your lives.
Because you know what? Some people do take marriage really strongly. And you know what I'm talking about. They take it strongly, like it's just our vows and no outsiders coming between us. What happens in our house stays in our house. They're going to influence you to break up or you separate. They're going to influence your mind. So because that's the mindset of some people.
Some people, but speaking from my mindset, nobody can get into my mind but myself. And I'm only going to make my own decisions. My partner doesn't make my decisions for me. My children don't. Nobody doesn't make decisions for me but myself. But I'm glad that when I'm dealing with life or dealing with things that are happening in my life, that I have these people that I can talk to. And because I know the relationships that I have with them and how much they care about me, how much they ride for me, they're not going to stir me in the wrong direction.
Okay, because that is a good question, because sometimes people feel that what could you learn from a single person as a married person?
There's a reason why they might be single, because they may not want to be dealing with what I'm dealing with.
So you get those too, like okay, or don't talk to the single people. They don't understand what the marriage is about. It's different. I'm sure you heard that.
They act like being single is a disease.
Or it's a bad thing.
It's a choice.
Yeah, it's a choice, because anybody could get married.
Anybody could get married.
But that's what happens. Society does that. They're not going to understand. Stay away from single people.
I don't operate like that.
Yeah, I don't either.
And never will.
And I'm respectful. I
wouldn't go into a relationship where I had to pick and choose. I wouldn't go into a marriage that I have to pick and choose. Because all my cards will be laid out there just like that. These are my people.
Yep.
This is my day one. This is that. Right in the
there.
beginning.
But you got secrets to hide. You know what I'm saying? But
And like I said, once you lay that out there, that person has no other choice but to respect it. Not if they don't respect it, then that may not be your person.
Yeah, you can go.
Because you think I'm gonna fall out and in relationships with
my people that was with me before and you may not even stand the test of time. Hello.
Nah.
Hello.
Sorry.
Hello. Speaking of this, and we heard this numerous times, and this will never go away. The famous gender debate. Can guys and girls just be friends? Yes. I agree. I love unisex friendships. If you heard the debut of Sofa Talk, when you heard my part of me talking, I talked about that. I'm passionate about unisex friendships. Friendships and societal perceptions surrounding them. We could talk about the boundaries, trust, and potential romantic feelings that can complicate these relationships, because sometimes they do. Sometimes you may think you have a friend, but they might want more, or they may love you, or may think they have the potential to be with you in the future. This happens too. And think of the movie When Harry Met Sally. I had to watch that movie during my human relations class at my junior college. That movie was really good. I watched a clip of it and I said, okay, I'm gonna go home and watch it. Mm-hmm. And it's pertaining to this debate: can men and women really be friends? That movie is really good. Mm-hmm. I still haven't saw Love Jones, y'all. I know, don't judge me. Remember, I don't watch a lot of movies. Please don't judge me. But I think that's similar to When Harry Met Sally. I heard. Mm-hmm. I think I'm gonna like that too. Partners are not happy with unisex friendships. So I'll just go from there. I think that men and women could be friends.
I do too.
And here we can do the boundary drawing. If your friend is attracted to you or wants to be with you, just tell them, I don't see you in that kind of way. Mm-hmm. And, we could either be friends, or if it's going to be too hard for you, we can either leave the friendship. I think that's the way to kind of stop that. If I'm wrong, people, leave a comment or leave a voicemail on sofatalk.com mm-hmm. on the voicemail feature that we have, that little icon we have, if I'm wrong. Like I said, set boundaries, let them know you don't want them. And if you do, be with them. You never know. They say sometimes your friend could be your partner, or it's underneath your nose. I've heard stories like that. I think that's beautiful. Mm-hmm. I can understand how partners might be upset with the unisex friendships. There's going to be some possibly jealousy, a little bit insecurity. They may feel that, there might be something going on, or you might invest more of your time or hype your friend up more so than you do the partner. And that happens at times where they might feel inadequate, mm-hmm. and that will give them, again, insecurities.
Yeah.
I could see that happening. I would say how to maintain a healthy unisex friendship, even when the friend is in a relationship. Again, it comes to boundaries.
That's all.
It comes to boundaries. If you want to hang out, maybe invite the person sometimes, the other partner, to hang out too, or maybe ask permission. Do you mind if I go hang out with my homegirl, my homeboy? We're gonna go do this. If this is a very serious relationship, we're gonna go do this, that. You mind if we hang out and then I come back? Nothing like mm-hmm. nothing like that.
It's all communication
and trust, and there has to be some type of trust. I know it's hard, y'all. I know it's hard. Like I said, and that's how friends can respect their friends and relationships with their partners, is just respecting that they're in a committed relationship, and the activities you partake in, some of the conversations you have, don't be rude, again, and disrespectful. Mm-hmm. Yep. And set boundaries. It's all about boundaries and communicating and open communication.
For sure.
Yeah. Was I right on that?
Yeah.
Was I right? If I'm not, add on to it, y'all. Add on to that. Sofa Talkers, y'all know what to do. Add on to it, leave a review, comment, or call the voicemail again on sofatalk.com. Good question here. Trust issues. Friends around your partner. Oh, let me go back to say something too with the. Okay, I'm so glad I remember this with the famous gender debate. I'm gonna go back to Dame Dash, mogul there, hip hop mogul, and this pertains to unisex friendships. About 5 years ago, Dame Dash was on the Breakfast Club. Dame feels that women watch her back. He was talking about the Bible and religion and stuff like that, but some key pointers that he highlighted about unisex friendships is that Dame Dash feels that women watch her back more. He said men have violated God and men violate each other or other men. So he keeps his circle tight and keeps more women around him. He doesn't like dudes, he said, that much because they be worried about the wrong shit.
That's true.
He feels women are more trustworthy than men. because women have estrogen instead of testosterone. Women also have that motherly nature, that nurturing spirit, and emotional. Remember, we're emotional. So we let men open up to us to talk to us, especially with unisex friendships.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting. And this is what he mentioned too. Men tend to resent other men because they want to be the boss. Every real man wants to be the boss. They was spitting some shit there. When a man talks bad about another dude in front of a woman, he's afraid that woman likes the other dude. So facts. I said, okay, facts. So from a man's perspective, what Dame Dash is saying,
I agree. 100%.
I had to share this with y'all. And I said, okay, Dame, representing unisex friendship, because people consider that taboo or wrong or, things like that. But listen to what he said. He'd rather have a bunch of women behind him than men. Okay, Dame.
I've been like that ever since I was a kid.
Okay, I know, because I'm one of them. I'm one of the friends. I'm one of the females. I'm one of them. So I had to go back in there. I didn't want to forget that, y'all. I was like, okay, I remember I have to say something. And I came across that. And I wanted to share that with y'all. Shout out to Dame Dash for that. Thank you, Dame. Now, okay, trust issues. Friends around your partner. Can friends not trust their friends around their partner? Is that being insecure? Relationships are built on trust for both for friendships and when you're in a romantic relationship. Does that mean you don't have trust for either of them? That's a hard ass question.
So
that question is fucking hard.
I had two guy friends that I was very, very close with, but I knew their character. So I wouldn't put them in a situation where I would have to question if they would try some funny business behind my back.
With your woman?
With my woman. So I never put them in that type of environment for that to happen, because the type of guys they would try their hand. And I wouldn't, and I don't, and I'm not, but I'm only saying that because I knew them. They were my boys, so I knew how they rolled.
And like the ins and outs.
And the ins and outs. So I would be not saying that, and in my woman's defense, do I think she would go along with it? No, and I'm not just saying it because she's my woman, but I know her. I know how she feels. She knows how I feel about my friendships, my relationships, and all that. So I don't think she would even play on that. I know I'm the prize in a relationship, just like she's the prize in ours. That's how we both look at each other. But those two friends, that didn't make them less than anything. They were still my best homies, but I just knew that in that department, I couldn't have them in that type of department without me being there.
Also, too, you don't want to ever give any inclination, like, because we don't know what people could really do.
Absolutely.
We know if my man, whatever, my female friend, we don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know the moment.
So I wouldn't even
the rapture like Anita Baker. You know what I'm saying?
I would not set anything up.
Why we do that? That's like setting it up, and you don't know. Even though we want to have faith and believe that they won't do that to us, but shit happens. We see stories all the time. Shit happens.
Shit happens.
Shit happens. And I'm gonna say something about this. This was some old school learning I learned a couple years ago. Let me see here. I remember my mom's friend and I had a conversation, and when I was a young adult and entering adulthood, and she told me to never tell your female friend about your intimate sex life with your man. She said, women take notes, little do you know, and want to then try your man out. And in some cases, they will take your man from you, is what she told me. This happened to someone we knew. A lady had a really close friend. They were like best friends, and she was dating this guy in a relationship with him. And then all of a sudden, her close best friend was with her man. Took the man, you know what I'm saying? So sadly, the lady's man had left her for her best friend. And surprisingly, they were together for many years too. That has always stuck with me. So I do agree. I listened to that old school, I'm old school, I'm old fashioned. I agree with that. Certain things do not let let them know. Even with fellas, don't let with your woman, like, that freakiness, whatever, that kinkiness behind the doors, fetishes and all that. Keep that to yourself.
I can see if the person isn't like somebody that you're like, oh, just doing hookups. There ain't nothing wrong talking about hookups.
Yeah, but with a partner.
With a partner.
Yeah, that's different. There's levels against that. There's levels to that again.
I would kind of be weird. Not weirded out, but definitely kind of like a little uncomfortable with like my homeboys like talking about all the nasty stuff that his girl does.
Yeah, and you're gonna be looking at her and then when you watch her like damn, that girl get down like
She
that.
right.
She only look, she look
Nah.
innocent. She look too
Nah.
pure to get down like that.
Mm-mm.
Homegirl getting down like that. Let me
Mm-mm.
find out. Y'all be crazy.
Yeah.
This is a good topic, y'all. I'm not gonna bore y'all, but what are we about to do now? Story time or reading time with Aster. Reading time with Aster about friendships. I'm gonna try to make this fast. If I stumble my words, I'm trying to get y'all, in the segment. So bear with me. It won't be long. This is from Mayo Clinic, Healthy Lifestyle, Adult Health. Discover the connection between health and friendship and how to promote and maintain healthy friendships by Mayo Clinic staff. Friendships can have a big effect on your health and well-being, but it's not always easy to make or keep friends. Understand the importance of social connection in your life. Know what you can do to build and fuel lasting relationships. Good friends are good for your health. Remember that, y'all. Friends can help you celebrate good times and support you during bad times. Friends help keep you from feeling alone. Friends can also raise your sense of connection, belonging, and purpose, boost your happiness, and lower your stress, improve your self confidence and feelings of self worth, help you cope through hard times such as divorce, serious illness, job loss, or the death of a loved one, urge you to change or avoid habits that aren't healthy. These might include drinking too much or not exercising. Friends also play a role in your overall health. Adults with strong connections have a lower risk of many health problems. That includes depression, high blood pressure, and an unhealthy weight. In fact, studies have found that older adults who have close friends and healthy social supports are likely to live longer than do their peers who have fewer friends. Interesting on that. Many friends find it hard to make new friends or keep the ones they have. Work on caring for children or aging parents might come before friends. You and your friends may have grown apart due to changes in your lives or interests. Or maybe you've moved to a new town and haven't yet found a way to meet new people. Making and keeping good friends takes effort. The pleasure, comfort, and health benefits you can get from friends make it worth the effort. How good your friendships are count more than how many friends you have. Remember, it's always about the quality and not the quantity, as we always preach here. Having a broad network of friends and contacts might be good, but having close friends who mean a lot to you does more for your sense of self. Yes to that. You can make friends with people you meet in your social network. Think about people you've talked with, even just a little, who you liked and whose company you enjoyed. You may make new friends and feed friendships you already have by doing the following. Stay in touch with people with whom you've worked or taken classes. Get back in touch with old friends. Reach out to people you've met and enjoyed at social events. Meet your neighbors. I don't know about that, y'all. Sorry. Make time to reconnect with family members if you have that kind of relationship with them. There's a lot of issues going on with families, and that's going to be another podcast segment coming up very soon in the next couple of weeks. Be on the lookout for that because we're going to keep it real on that. But again, I'll reread that again for a positive note. Make time to reconnect with family members. If you think someone you like to know better, reach out. That first step is often the hardest, but it might be easier to take than you think. Ask people who know both of you to put you in touch with a text, email, phone call, or visit. Invite the person to coffee or lunch. To meet new people, you might become friends. Go to places where people gather. Use more than one way to meet people. The more you try, the easier it gets, and the more likely you're to succeed. Keeping at it also matters. Reach out instead of waiting for others to come to you. Keep trying. You may need to suggest plans a few times before you call. I'm sorry, I'm going to read that again. You may need to suggest plans a few times before you can tell if a new friend wants to be with you. For example, try several of these ideas. Go to events in the community. Look for groups or clubs that gather around an interest or hobby. You may find these groups online, in the newspaper, or on local message boards. There are also websites that help you connect with new friends in your neighborhood or city. Do a Google search using terms such as your city plus social network or your neighborhood plus meetups. Volunteer. Offer your time or talents at a hospital, place of worship, museum, community center, charity, or something similar. You can form strong links when you work with people who have interests like yours. Give and accept invitations. Invite a friend to join you for coffee or lunch. When you're invited to a social event, say yes. Then return the invitation. Take up a new interest. Take a college or community education course to meet people who have interests like yours. Join a class at a local gym, senior center, or community fitness center. Join a faith community. Then go to special activities and get to know you events for new members. Take a walk. Grab your kids or pet and head outside. Chat with others you see along the way, or go to a popular park and talk to people there. Calm your nerves. I know this is hard to do. My nerves are bad, y'all. This can be hard. If you're nervous about meeting new people, you may be tempted to stay home. Use deep breathing, yoga, or other mind body techniques to help you relax. Above all, stay positive. You may not become friends with everyone you meet, but being positive and reaching out can help make the relationships you have better. It also may help you make friends with people you meet. Joining a chat group or online community might help you make or keep friends and help you feel less lonely. But research suggests that use of social networking sites doesn't always lead to a larger offline network or closer offline links with network members. Also, be careful when sharing information about yourself and take care when meeting with someone you've met online. That's very important. Making and keeping friends involves give and take. Sometimes you're the one giving support, other times you're getting it. Letting friends know that you care about them can help strengthen your bond. It is as important for you to be a good friend as it is to have good friends. To nurture your friendships, be kind. Kindness is at the core of good friendships. Think of friendships as an emotional bank account. Every act of kindness is a deposit into this account. Being unkind takes away from it. Be a good listener. This is important. Ask what's going on in your friends' lives. Let others know you hear them. When friends share details of hard times, let them know you get how they feel. Don't give advice unless your friend asks for it. Open up. Build closeness with your friends by opening up about yourself. Being willing to share your feelings and concerns shows that your friend is special to you. Show that you can be trusted. Let your friends know that they can rely on you. Show up on time. Do what you say you'll do. Keep what your friends tell you in private to yourself. Show that you can be trusted. I already read that. I'm sorry. Make an effort. Building a close friendship takes time together. Try to see new friends often. Check in with them in between meetups. You may feel odd the first few times you talk on the phone or get together, but this feeling gets easier as you get more comfortable with each other. Remember, it's never too late to make new friendships or reconnect with old friends. Putting time into making and keeping friends can play off in a better health and a brighter outlook for years to come. That is it from the Mayo Clinic's article, and it was very insightful. So, SeVen's going to mention something like he usually does.
Yeah, so we want to give thanks to everyone that follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. We all thank you so much for supporting us, viewing us, liking us, sharing. We appreciate you all. And for those that don't follow us, follow us. Come check us out. We got some good stuff on the TikTok and Facebook and Instagram. You want to go ahead with that one?
We also have a website now. You've been hearing us say that. We're proud of it. You can go to sofatalk.com, SOFATAWK.com. Thank you for listening to our episode. What about your friends? Are you currently facing a dilemma or issue and you need advice from Seven and I? Feel free to write to the Dear Sofa Talk letter at sofatalk, SOFATAWK at gmail.com, and we can see how we can help you. Our next episode, which is about work, work. Shout out to Rihanna. Will air next month in September on either the 20th or the 27th. Please subscribe, like, follow, share, comment, or leave a review wherever you're listening. We are available on multiple podcast directories. Remember, the talk will have you talking on the sofa. Goodbye. Until next time.